Hi all, good morning. I'm Nimisha and I am from UK. Thank you very much for joining me today and speaking about your film called Kundalu, which is coming on 14th of November. So I'm so grateful and delighted to speak to you guys about your film. So Suchitra, Neena and Priya, can you please introduce yourself and tell me more about yourself, and then we'll talk about your experience to produce this film.
So, hi Nimisha, Kem Cho. I'm Suchitra and I'm a co-producer at 3People Productions with my wonderful partners in the business, partners in crime and dearest friends, Neena and Priya. We are very delighted and excited to bring our first feature film to the screens, Kundalu. Kundalu is a Gujarati film in the Mehsani dialect with English subtitles. And we are very excited to speak about it and share the story with you, Nimisha. My background, I'm going to keep it brief. I have over 30 years of work experience. Yes, I'm that old. In the corporate space in HR. And also about 12, 13 years back, along with Neena, we own a theatre company which is based here in Vadodara in Gujarat, called Page to Stage, which is a teaching and performing theatre company. But what we are here today is, of course, as film producers, as 3People Productions. Our company was formed about 4 years ago. And like I said, this is our first film, Kundalu, which we are bringing to the screens. So thank you, Nimisha, for this opportunity.
No, thank you for joining. And Priya, welcome. And I know it's quite late for you where you are, but please introduce yourself um, and just
Thank
tell us
you.
about yourself. Yeah.
Thank you, Nimisha. I'm Priya Krishnaswamy and a partner in 3People Productions. My background has been in corporate and management for a long time. This is really, a second, third career for me, as well as my partners. It's the same way. We have come to produce, we've come to production of films after a lot of thought and very intentionally. If you look at our backgrounds, we have nothing, to connect us, and yet we have come together to create this beautiful film. So it is a journey that we would invite everyone on. It has been wonderful so far. It has been very collaborative. We have met some amazing people along the way. We have learned a lot. And I personally am just really thankful to be part of this journey.
Thank you so much for joining. And how about you, Neena? Please introduce yourself, please.
Hi, Nimisha. Thank you for having us here. I've been in Gujarat for last 30 years, and though I'm a Punjabi, I'm more of a Gujarati now, I feel. And yes, I actually run a studio, art and a very uh, exhibition and a fashion gallery kind of space. And this just came along since me and Suchitra were working for as partners in a theater company by the name of Page to Stage. That led us to this film. Uh, and yes, I'm very, very happy to be a part of it. I have evolved with the film and now ready to release it on the 14th of November.
Great. Thank you very much for joining. And Suchitra, I'll come back to you and I'll ask you this question: that why you have decided to make this film?
So Nimisha, Kundalu is the Gujarati word for a circle, right? And like the circle of life, our story as producers also is really coming a full circle with this film. Nimisha will be very amused to know that producing films or becoming film producers was not in any of our radar. Priya and Neena will back me up. We never thought we would be doing this. And so in fact we proudly call ourselves the accidental producers who now have become intentional producers.
Right.
This This story, Nimisha, came to us, to Neena and me, by our writer-director of the Film Kundaalu, Rohit Prajapati, with whom we have done a lot of theatre together. His theatre company and our theatre company have been doing a lot of theatre together for the last 10, 12 years. And he's brilliant. And he came to us with this little idea of a short film that he wanted to make. Kundaalu was not its name, it had some other name. And he wanted to tell this story of this woman. And literally, Nimisha, he told us 4 lines, because at that point, he had not yet written what was in his mind. And he was looking for an investor / producer to produce what was supposed to be a 40-minute short film on a female protagonist. And Neena and I just heard these few lines from Rohit and it moved us. You know how sometimes all somebody has to say is something really small, but you know what it's going to be and you know the depth of it. And also because we had done a lot of work with Rohit in the past, we knew his vision. We know we had and we have full faith and trust in his vision as a writer, as a director, and his ability to draw out these rich, nuanced performances. And we had been seeing that in theater with him. So yeah, so Neena and I just said, okay. And then a few minutes later, Neena and I, literally, this is exactly how the whole thing happened. He leaves our home and Neena and I look at each other and we said, chalo, hum hi kar le. And we said, okay, let's just do it. And at that point, Neena and I thought we are just funding a short film because Rohit needs funds to make a short film. That's what we thought that night. Little did we know, but making Rohit the writer-director made us the producers with Neena, me, and Priya joining in. And not only did we become producers, we had to form a company. So we made 3peepul Productions. And this little short film idea that Rohit had then evolved into a full feature film of 120, of 121 minutes with so many characters and complex relationships, many layers. And it has become this exquisitely beautiful, layered, nuanced labor of love, a very compelling story, which we as 3peepul Productions are extremely honored, privileged, and proud to bring it to the screens on 14th November. So Nimisha, that is our Kundaalu. We are also drawing our Kundaalu with this film.
Thank you so much for sharing and sharing the birth of 3peepul production company. And Priya, I gathered you are not in Baroda, and yet you are part of this collaboration. So tell us about your involvement, especially making during this filmmaking.
Absolutely. You're right. I live in Texas, USA. I heard the same 4 lines that Suchitra and Neena had heard from Rohit. I had heard about him before because they had a theater company where he was working. I felt a kind of immediate connection to the story when I heard it. And it was almost a compulsion. I almost felt like I had to be part of the journey. It was not even a question of, should I think about it? How involved would I like to be? And at that time, I didn't even think, it doesn't make sense. Practically, I'm not even there. So how can I be a part of it? I just knew that I had to be a part of it somehow. And it started from there. We became producers. We started learning about the process of what it takes to be in film production. And I was involved from day one. It has been a lot of, back and forth, a lot of calls, a lot of speaking with different people. And we have managed to work together, a lot of adjustments with timings and so on. And then I have been involved in, along with my partners and with the rest of the team in creating every aspect of the movie that we were able to be involved in. We were not editors, but we were at the table sitting with the editor, going through each scene, because we, all of us, felt so invested in the story. And the story is such a universal story that it needs to be told the right way. It needs to have an integrity and an emotion to it that has to ring true with every person who sees it. So we were at the editing table. Then we were, involved with the songs. We were writing the subtitling for it. We were doing subtitles. Then we were looking at how to translate. When you take a traditional instrument from Mehsana, from Gujarat, and then you're trying to translate that music for a universal or a different kind of audience, and now you have to kind of explain. It's very hard to explain a Gujarati doha or a garba song, a wedding song. How do you translate the emotion along with the simple translation of what the words are trying to say, because you really want the audience and the person who's watching the film to be transported in some sense to that
That's right.
world.
Yeah.
So that has been my journey throughout this making of this film. It's been very intense. It's been very inclusive. It has been very emotional. On top of everything else, it's been emotional. And it is really a film that brings you back in time in some sense. It's nostalgia, it's classic cinema. It is a lot of things that, need to be kind of revived, if you want to call it that, to use an archaic term. The revival of this kind of cinema is very important for the health of cinema on.
No. Thank you so much for sharing your experience to getting involved in this film. I will come
Absolutely.
back to you, Neena. Please tell us why you have decided to make this film in this particular language, in Gujarati. I get that none of you are Gujarati, and yet you decided to make film in Gujarati language. And it's not only in Gujarati, in specifically in Mehsani dialect as well. So please tell me about that as well, Neena.
In Nimisha, it came to us as they just Rohit narrated to us, and it was the story of a village in Gujarat. So he narrated the story though in Gujarati, but the emotions were universal. The connection, the uh, you know, uh, it didn't really make us feel that we were looking at something which would not reach the people, or which would not connect to the people. It was just about a language. And the language was Gujarati, but as I said, everything in it was so universal that we could immediately connect to it. And we never went to our never thoughts were never of translating it or doing it in any other language, or maybe in Hindi, or no. We were very sure, the way Rohit said it, the way he had the way he was writing it, the small nuances, the dialect, it gave so much of uh, weightage to the whole movie, that we really did not even once thought of making it in any other language than what he had written it in. And of course, as Priya rightly said, we really sat through the subtitles. We really tried to bring the best that we could bring in it, because Indian languages are elaborate. There is so much emotion, and there is so many ways to say the same thing, which unfortunately English is very
Yeah,
restrictive.
it
That's
is.
So,
so
and
true.
so yeah, so when we were doing the subtitles, we realized that we were so glad that we did it in Gujarati the way we did it, because it turns out to be so much more beautiful than if we would have tried to translate and do it in any other language.
Oh,
So Gujarati it is, and yes, I will definitely say that we have tried our best, and we have really very beautifully subtitled it. The songs are so lyrically subtitled. The dohas are so beautifully subtitled. So whoever watches it is going to be a universal
Yeah.
thing, and whoever watches it will get the right catch the right emotion behind it, and they can actually be a part of the whole film. It's The film
Yeah.
is going to take them along. Yes.
Yeah, that's so truly said. Feelings, they don't have a language,
Mhm.
So that's beautifully explained. So, Suchitra, I'll come back to you and I'll ask you this question: that what is the plan now for, when you are releasing, where people can go and this film, and why should they go and see this film? Because, as I said, there's so many things available, and hopefully, I want people. This podcast should help people to filter it down and choose this particular film. So please tell me the reason why should they go and watch this film, and when and where.
Okay, thank you, Nimisha. Nimisha, this little film, and I will call it a little film because it is at its heart a little film. It's a little story from the villages of Mehsana in North Gujarat. But man, does it pack a punch, Nimisha, this film with exquisite. And of course, every filmmaker says that their film is fantastic, of course. And so we will also say that, of course, our film is just brilliant. However, what is really special about Kundalu, which we hope your audiences will understand and connect to, is the fact that very rarely does it happen that everybody comes together with the right intentions. That's when magic happens. And with Kundalu, we have had the privilege, the honor, and the beautiful, humbling experience to watch this happen, that every person who came in to become a part of the film, cast, crew, mentors, advisors, guides, supporters, well-wishers, have enriched this film so much. Our film Kundalu is 121 minutes duration. It has a compelling story from the rural villages of Mehsana from North Gujarat. It is a simple tale at its heart, but the story, the theme, the emotions that it portrays are universal. It goes beyond Gujarat, India. It actually is emotions that all of us can relate to, of love, incomplete love. How do you deal in a society where if you are voiceless, what happens to you if you are voiceless, whether it is metaphorically or figuratively or physically? If you're voiceless, what happens to your dreams, what happens to your ambitions, what happens to your inner identity if you do not have that voice to put it out there? And yet the emotions of love, wanting to be respected, wanting to belong, wanting to be validated by society, that is universal emotions. And that's what Kundalu talks about. And that's the circle of life. That's the journey. And so from little Mehsana, little villages of Mehsana, we are now releasing the film on 14th November in Gujarat, across the cities of Gujarat. Then next step, Mumbai, other cities of India. And then, yes, the plan, the dream, the hope is to take it outside of India and connect with audiences everywhere. And Nimisha, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude to you for helping us in this journey. And we invite all interested people who are passionate about good, authentic, honest stories to be told of the land, where the emotions are universal. It will connect people, touch people's hearts. And yes, we are proudly showcasing the culture, the language, the traditions of Mehsana. However, you could be from any part of the world and you will find the connection, because human emotions, human experiences, and human stories are all interconnected. There is no us and them. And that's the beauty of Kundalu. We are all in the same circle, and we really hope to bring it and invite and include people within this circle within our Kundalu.
So thank you very much, and all the very best for this beautiful film, which is releasing on 14th of November. So people go out there and watch this film. So thank you so much, girls, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nimisha. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nimisha. We are very grateful. Kundaalu is coming to the cinemas in Gujarat on 14th November, and then Mumbai, the rest of India, and hopefully outside of India as well. Please keep an eye out. We invite all of you on behalf of Team Kundaalu. Please join us. Thank you.